This is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well. So,
sit back,
relax,
and enjoy.
What is this? Just wait, something cool's gonna happen.
And now for part 2 of As the Sovcit Turns in Court.
Okay, well, you're here, sir. Last but not least.
Blessing, sir.
Can I have your first and last name?
Yes, I'm here by special appearance, sui juris. Kevin Ladwig.
Can you spell your last name?
Ladewig.
Okay, here we go. Oh, you called my office, didn't you? Okay. So, but for the record, we didn't talk. We haven't spoken, right? Because it's not appropriate for me to do that. Okay, so this is TOW 822-54. Let's see. Okay.
May I ask one thing for the record?
I'm sorry?
May I ask one thing for the record?
Sure.
Are you on oath? Do you have a constitutional oath?
Do I have a constitutional oath? Well, yes, I took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and state of Illinois.
Excellent.
I'm a practicing attorney, so yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
So this is, all right, let me take a look here. So the underlying alleged charges are driving while license suspended, possession of cannabis less than 10 grams, speeding is not a basis for the tow, we've got no insurance, and then driving with expired license plates. And so this allegedly occurred back on August the 10th of this year. So you're contesting the validity of the tow?
Yes.
Okay. So what would you like to tell me?
All right. Please let me finish.
Yeah, please let him finish, because he's got a whole lot of Supreme Court cases that he's going to cherry pick, just like he did at the traffic stop.
All right.
Well, as long as you're relevant to the proceedings, I'm happy to let you
Very
talk.
relevant. Very
Thank you,
relevant, sir.
All right, I have an idea. He's going to list off a bunch of cases. Here's the thing. Let's do a contest. 4 questions. I need you to answer all 4. I'll give you an email address at the end. The winner will get a $20 gift card towards the store they choose. Deal?
Supreme Court decisions are considered the law of the land in regards to constitutionally protected rights, and they cannot be interpreted or reinterpreted as they are stare decisis, already reviewed and described as law. 1. Federal law and Supreme Court cases apply to state court cases. Howell versus Rose. 496 U.S. 356, 1990. No state shall convert a liberty into a privilege, license it, and attach it a fee to it. Murdoch versus Penn, 319 U.S. 105. If the state converts a liberty into a privilege, the citizen can engage in the right with impunity. Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham, 373 U.S. 262. Operation of a motor vehicle upon public streets and highways is not a mere privilege, but is a right or liberty protected by the guarantees of federal and state constitutions. Adams versus City of Pocatello, 416 P2D 46. The right to travel on the public highway is a constitutional right. Tech Lines versus Danford, Mississippi, 12 SO 2D 784 787. Anything that is a right cannot be subject to conditions or licensing. Lane versus Wilson, 307 U.S. 268 275. Every state law must conform in the first place to the Constitution of the United States and then to the subordinate constitution of the particular state. And if it infringes upon the provisions of either, it is so far void. Houston versus Moore, 18 U.S. 1, 5 LED 19.
Mr. Garrison, will you make him stop?
And the Constitution itself is in every sense a law. Carter versus Carter Coal Company, 298 U.S. 140, 296 1935. No sanction can be imposed absent proof of jurisdiction. Standard versus Olson, 74. SCT 768. With no injured party, a complaint is invalid on its face. Gibson versus Boyle, 139, Arizona 512. The right of a citizen to travel upon the public highway and to transport his property thereon in the ordinary course of life and business is a common right which he has under his right to enjoy life and liberty, to acquire and possess property, and to pursue happiness and safety. It includes the right in doing so to use the ordinary and usual conveyances of the day, and under the existing modes of travel include the right to drive a horse-drawn carriage or wagon thereof, or to operate an automobile thereon for the usual and ordinary purpose of life and business. It is not a mere privilege, like the privilege of moving a house in the street, operating a business stand in the street, or transporting persons or property for hire along the street, which a city may permit or prohibit at will. Thompson versus Smith, 154, SE 579 at 583. Therefore, Federal Code Law, Title 42, Section 666, which indicates that we can't buy, sell, travel, trade, or work without a Social Security number, is seemingly in direct violation of the Supreme Court decisions which invalidate Title 42, Section 666. It is unconstitutional to require one to have a Social Security number and driver's license to travel. Criminal and statutory jurisdiction. All persons are presumed to know the law. If any person acts under any unconstitutional statute, he does so at his own peril. He must take the consequences. 16 AM, Jur. 177, 1781. Person is not criminally responsible unless criminal intent accompanies wrongful act. Gasho versus U.S. 39F, 3D, 1420, 9th Circuit, 1994. If an administrative officer or agency acts outside the scope of its authority or jurisdiction, its act are null and void. Doolin versus Carr, 125 U.S. 618. When federal officials perpetrate constitutional torts, they do so ultra vires and lose the shield of sovereign immunity. Williams versus U.S. Department of Agriculture, 815 F. 2D 369. Decency, security, and liberty alike demand that government officials shall be subject to the rules of conduct that are commands to the citizens. U.S. versus Olmstead, 277 U.S. 438, 1928. Remedy. The Constitution provisions that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor private property taken for public use without compensation, are intended as limitations upon the power of the government in its dealings with the citizens, and relates to that class of rights whose protection is peculiar within the province of the judicial branch of government, and that the courts are bound to give remedy for unlawful invasion of rights of property by officers of any breach of government. United States versus Lee, 106 U.S. 196.
This sucks.
1882. I also would like to stand on the Fifth Amendment.
Okay. So by saying that, you're indicating to me you won't answer any of my questions, which you don't have to.
That is not what I'm indicating. I'm indicating that I have to be compensated for property that has
okay.
been seized.
All right, so you did submit a written
Affidavit,
motion or
yes,
brief
yes.
to the Village of Lombard.
I did.
I've read that, as part of the packet here. I've reviewed the police report and some various other documents.
I've got video on it also.
I'm sorry?
I've got video on it also.
Okay.
And then they did claim in the inventory report, they defamed my character by claiming that I'm a sovereign citizen, which is basically a known establishment. So by doing that, defaming my character on that, and defaming my legal documents, which are actually Supreme Court cites. So.
Right, yeah, and I've examined what you provided to the village.
I do have more if you'd like.
I'm sorry?
I do have more if you would like.
Okay. No, at this point, I'm very comfortable with your position, and I respect that.
Thank you, sir.
So, looking at the records provided to me, it does appear that on the date of the alleged violation, you didn't have a valid driver's license. Is that correct?
In the state of Illinois, don't need a driver's license.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm showing that you didn't have a valid license. I also see that your plates were expired. Were your plates expired?
I'm on a contract with the Secretary of State in the Department of Motor Vehicle.
Okay.
So yes, I've excluded myself from all the contracts.
Okay.
UCC 1308 without prejudice.
Okay. All right. So because what I'm seeing from the record indicates that the plates were expired, and both of those are bases for towing of the vehicle.
It's not
and
a
there's
commercial.
Possession of the cannabis.
It's not a commercial vehicle.
Okay. Thank you. Did you also have cannabis on your person?
I did.
Ah, man. That's some heavy
I appreciate your candor. I do. Speeding isn't a concern for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so as I said earlier, I'm an attorney. I've been doing these hearings for quite a while now. I have reviewed the documents and the citations that you have referred to me. I don't find them persuasive. You do have the right to travel on the public ways, but you have to have a valid driver's license, and you have to have...
By what law?
Well, hang on. I let you talk. Okay. Let me talk.
Very well.
Because we're on the record here, and I want to make sure. Yeah. So, and this is my finding, and the Supreme Court's very clear on points that, that right to travel on the public roads can be conditioned on things like having a driver's license for operating a motor vehicle, having valid registration on that motor vehicle. There's a host of things, and there's plenty of case law on that point. So, well, let me finish. So, based on that and the fact that, there doesn't seem to be any issue of fact related to the validity of the license, the possession of cannabis, and the expiration of the license plates, I do unfortunately have to enter a finding of liable. The amount of the administrative fee will be that $500 that I mentioned at the beginning of the hearing.
And you're going to compensate me then?
So that is not my role.
According to the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Sir, that's my finding.
That's not a finding.
I'm not going to argue the case with you. As
Really?
I said in the beginning.
Okay. Under what jurisdiction?
As I said.
Under what jurisdiction? You have no jurisdiction.
Okay, so if you're not going to let me finish, I'm not.
Okay, go ahead. You're right.
You do have the right to file an appeal if you disagree with my findings. You have 35 days to file that appeal in the Circuit Court of the 18th Judicial Circuit. Okay? You understand that right?
I do not understand.
Okay. Well, I've explained it twice.
I am asking.
So you should.
I'm asking and demanding that you honor your oath that you have taken.
Yeah. Seize the power. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And recognize the Supreme Court findings that I stated earlier.
Thank you.
That I do not need a license. I do not need a license to drive my personal property, which is an automobile. Do not need it. Registration for a motor vehicle on an automobile.
Thank you, sir. That is not my finding. All right, so we have that order printed up for you. You can get a copy from the court station over there.
Just hold on. Get this right. Because this is not the end.
Note for the record, the time is now 9:57 a.m. No one else is in the audience with regards to the balance of the administrative code.
Listen.
All right, Mr. Valley, there's a warrant for your arrest. Put your hands behind your back and under arrest.
Really? Now I'm being accosted.
There's a warrant for your arrest. You are under arrest.
By what authority? You have not provided. You have not provided any documentation yet.
Yeah.
You have not provided any documentation.
We will.
This is not a resist.
Soon after.
Do you want her to take this?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, go ahead.
A few minutes later.
You guys are slick, huh?
Not slick.
Well, you guys are breaking the law. Acting outside. Yeah.
That truck.
No.
All right.
Do you have anything I need to know about Mr. Ludwig? Any knives?
No, sir. I'm not a threat like you guys.
Lighter?
Yes.
You want your friend to take this?
No.
It's not going to go with you, so it's going to be taken off your person.
Take this.
I can actually, because you do not have anything on your person when you get arrested.
Really? All right. So refusing me on that, huh? Will you hold it then? So that way this girl...
It'll go with you.
$100 there and a lighter.
Do you want her to take any of this stuff, or do you want it?
Yes, have her take that, please.
Ma'am!
Vicky!
Ma'am!
Can you please take my money?
Do you want her to take this or no?
No.
Okay, well,
She needs to view this.
it's going to be put into property, so you're not going to have...
All right, I'll have her take that. I will have her take that. Okay.
Alright, it's on?
Yes.
Smile for the camera.
Jim says you can drive his car over and we'll take your...
Okay, I'm done, Kevin. Okay.
Yeah, I think she's done, my friend. Okay. Now's the time. Are you ready? The contest begins with Max Headroom.
I'm going to ask you 4 questions about the film you've just seen.
4 questions. They're not difficult, but being able to count to 4 helps. Ready? Good.
Question number 1. How many Supreme Court cases did he cite to the judge? Question number 2. How many state court cases did he cite to the judge? Question number 3. What was he in court contesting? And question number 4. What was his name? First and last name. He gave it to the judge. Think on that.
Okay. Now for the prizes.
And the prize includes a $20 gift card towards any online store you choose. Just email the answers to barflydiscussions@gmail.com. That's barflydiscussions@gmail.com. And if you win, you'll get a $20 gift card to any online store you choose.
Oh, look at that. You cannot beat that for a first prize.
Well, you can't, but I can.
And thanks for joining Facts or Frauds. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. You're subscribed. Ring the bell for all notifications so the next time I premiere a video, you can be in the live chat with everyone else and leave a comment in the comment sections on what you think. And a very special thank you to our channel members and to you, Wanìshi. Thank you. I'll see you later.